Okay, in today's class, we are going to discuss about the couple of string free define methods and why we use string and what is the different ways that we can declare a string. So that is what we are going to discuss. Okay, string project. So here, the goal of this class is to know all the free defined methods that is present in the string dot class, as well as what is the different ways that we have to declare a string. So what will happen if you declare in literal way? What will happen if you declare using the new operator? So I'll try to start with str demo. Right, let me create a package com.demo. So here is the package com.demo, and here is the class string demo. So now what I'm trying to go discuss is first we'll try to discuss what is string. Basically, string is an immutable object. When I say immutable object, what it means and what it refers. So when we define immutability, nothing but once you define a value that we cannot change it. So that is not in compilation, while it is something which is related to memory. So I will explain what will happen if you declare a variable string, right? So basically we have two different approach to define a string. Earlier, if you define any of the primitive data type like lint or boolean, whatever it may be, so how we declare basically int x equals to 10. So we cannot define int x equals to new int of 10 because that is boolean, sorry, primitive data type. When I say non-primitive data type, we can declare these free-defined libraries in two different ways. One approach is a literal approach, and another approach is using new keyword. So what will happen when you declare using the literal approach, and what will happen when you declare as using new keyword? So let me declare a string in two different ways. So what that means, I will try to explain. String s equals to hello, right? And string s1 equals to new string hello. String s1 equals to new string hello, right? So we have declared a string, but the way we declare the string in two different ways. One is a literal approach. You are not using any of the new keyword. Directly you declare string s equals to hello. And second approach, string s1 equals to new hello. So both are the values same. Basically here also hello and here also hello. But what will happen, basically why we have defined in this way? What will happen if I'm declaring a literal approach, and what will happen if I'm declaring a different approach? Let me tell you what will happen basically. So when you declare a string in a literal approach, this will go and store into the pool memory or primary memory. When you declare using new keyword, this will go to the heap memory or secondary memory. So this approach, it will go and store into the heap memory. This approach will go and store into the pool memory. The memory location of this object reference will vary when you declare a string as a literal approach and using the new keyword, right? So let me try to show you how that will be. Okay. So let me create a new PPT where let me insert one simple symbol so that you will understand better. Okay. Let me add the shape here. Okay, fine. So let me add one more. right? So here a couple of important things I'm going to discuss. That's why I'm making this much effort. So here it is, for example, pool memory, and it is heap memory. Okay, so here is heap memory. Don't know why it's not inserted. Okay, let it be. So this is pool memory, it is heap memory. So let me come back to this and let me show you what is happening. When you declare this will go and store into the pool memory. So the literal approach. When you declare as using new keyword, it will go and store into the heap memory. So I will tell you what will happen in the second scenario. So I have string s2 equals to hello. So here what will happen? So I said like string is immutable. Now I will define what is happening. So if you see s value is hello, that is already stored into the pool memory. So here first one s reference is already stored, that is hello. And you have declared s2. So that reference is equals to s reference. It will not ask for a new memory, and it will compare whether that value is already present. If it is present, so s2 will take the reference of s. S2 will take the reference of s. So there will be no allocation again. So there will be no allocation. So one time you declare, and somewhere if you're using, you no need to create a memory space. So it will use the reference of s. S reference is nothing but hello. So now you can understand we are saving the memory when you declare in the literal approach. And the second advantage is when you have this value hello, s is for hello, and when you declare hello, that is for s2, you are not able to change the reference of the object that is hello. You are using the existing one. When I say immutable, once object is present in the pool memory, we cannot create the new instance when you wanted to store the same value. So we will go with the existing reference. That's why we call string as an immutable object. Let me repeat one more time. String is an immutable object. The reason because when you store an object in the pool memory, when you try to create an object with different reference, so it will not create the new instance. It will use the or it will call the existing reference, and it will use that same object value which is already present. So that is called immutability, right? So we'll come back to the second step. What will happen here? I'm declaring string s3 equals to new string of, so new string of hello. Okay, so now we'll come back to this. So we'll try to understand what is this approach and what will happen in this case. Here it will store into the heap memory as we discussed. This will go and store here. So this will store there, right? So let me add some design here. Okay, insert shape so that we can write some text here. Okay, so I will go with this so that I can add some text here. Edit text. So here s3 s2 reference s1 reference will be created by default. S1 equals to hello, and again s3 reference will be created. each and every time the reference will be created. So when you declare a new one, so it cannot check whether this object is already present, and it will not use that existing object. Each and every time when you store, no matter whether both are same or not, so it will create the new instance. That is called string declaration using the new keyword. So simple logic when I try to show you, if s equals to s2, or else we will do this system.out.println sysout s1 s equals to s1. Then you can see what will happen. It will return the false. Both values are same. If you see, the values of s and s1 is same, but it is giving the false output. Let me explain you what is equal to operator first. So equals is an operator. What is the goal of this operator, so it is first to check the objects are same or not. First condition will be checking of objects same or not. If the objects are same, then it will do the second check. Two checks will be there. One, object value same or not. Object value same or not. And second important point is, it will check the memory locations of this object. S is stored into the pool memory, where S1 is stored into the heap memory. Right, where S1 is stored into the heap memory. The both references are different, since this is giving the output as false. When I say S1 dot equals of S1 or S2, whatever it may be, S3. So now what it will happen, see, S is an object and S1 is an object. When I print this, you can see this returns true. The reason because, let me tell you, equals method goal basically to compare the objects same or not, no matter where that is stored. So here major difference, very important. Here only check will be both objects same or not will be checking, same or not. Okay, so no matter whether they are into the same memory space or different memory space, no matter it is, only check will be the both are same or not. Okay, so that is the one. See, now what I'm doing, S1 compare equal and S2. So as per this statement, what should it return? It should return true. The reason because objects are same, at the same time the reference of that values are same, right? So let me run and let me show you what will happen. It should return the true. And one more condition is there. Let me try to explain. S1 equals to S3, and let me run and let me show you. Here what will happen, it will return the false. I will tell you why. Now you might ask me the question, boss, you told me that if both are same memory, S1 also declared this is stored into the heap memory, S3 also declared it is stored into the heap memory, then why it is returning the false rather than giving the true, right? As per this statement, I wanted to explain in detail what will happen basically. So pool memory is nothing but, it should not be the storing into the different places at the same location. So here what we said is, when you declare hello again, it will not create the new instance. It is giving the object location, or sorry, memory location of S1 to S2. So this is S memory location. Okay, when you declare same hello for S2, it is taking the S1 reference. No hello object is created. Same object we are using. But when you comes to the heap memory, you have declared S1 hello, and again you are declared S3 hello. This memory location is different. and again there will be new memory location for hello, because this is heap memory. Each and every time that you insert, there will be no reference, no check will be happen. Again this new memory instance will be created, then it will give the false memory location, nothing but not only the same memory, it should be the same location also, that place also where that is stored, that should be also same. Here that is different, that's why it is returning the false. Very very important point is, so difference between the equals and equal method, very very important. And what is string? Basically string is a predefined class in Java. So when you click on this one string, and if you go to this one, it is a dot class file in Java, and which implements the serializable and comparable and constable and constant description. These are the interfaces which implements the string class, and it is an immutable object. When I say immutable object, when you declare a string and a literal approach, the reference will not be changed actually. That is called the uh, immutability for string, right? So, and very very important point is equals method and equals. There is a couple of predefined methods that was present in the string that we will try to discuss now. String s equals to hello, I'm declaring string s equals to hello. I wanted to show you a couple of methods. First method is system.out.println caret s dot char at of 1 or 0, whatever it may be. So first we will try to discuss what this caret method. Caret is the predefined method in string which will help us to return the specific character that was present in the string. It will return the specific character that was present in the string. So input will be int, that is index, and return type is object, or we can say character, not object. Exactly, it will return the character, that's why I'm describing as a character. Okay, so when I ask to print s dot caret of 0, it will print h, because h is located in 0 index. When I give 1, it will print e. When I give 2, it will print l. When I give 3, it will print l. And I give 4, it will print o. So that is the uh, character that was locating into the specific index. So whatever the index that you are providing, so based upon that, it will print the specific character located into the specific place. When I give 4, it is printing O, that is present. When I give 5, that was not there. In this case, what will happen? It will give the error saying that boss, that index is not present in the given string. So index outbound exception, that was not there. Your range is 4 and you are giving out of range, that is 5. So this is caret method. Input would be string, that is indexes that was present in the string. A return type would be character. So it is returning the only single character that was associated with the specific index. Clear? So the next one is system.out.println s dot length. Okay, so the return type of this is integer. No need to pass the input. There is no input parameter. And one important thing, length is always starting from 1 and indexes is starting from 0. This is what I wanted to discuss in any class to avoid the confusion. So here index is always starting from the 0, length always starting from the 1. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length of the string is 5. So it will return the length of the string. How many characters that was present in the string. So that will return the count. So it will always starting from the 1. Right. So next one, s dot concatenate and world. And you're concatenating with another string. Let me tell you what will happen. Here it will add both. See, s dot concatenate. So concat is nothing but it is a predefined method. It will help us to add the two strings. Help us to add the two strings. It will add the two strings. Okay. So the first thing is s equals to hello, and the second one is world. S dot concat of world, nothing but hello world. So it is concatenated with both strings, right? So here the return type is always string. If you see, it is any string. Hello world is again string. So the return type is string, and inline parameter or input that we have to pass is world, that is also string format. So it will not accept any other, so you have to pass as a string, and if I give the integer, it is giving the error, so that you can understand that. So it is only allowing the strings, right? And the return type, the moment the concatenation will happen, it will give the return type as a string. Clear? A couple of more methods is there, we will discuss in the next class.